going to talk to you a little bit about the global situation, what I'm seeing in the aspects and how I'm seeing the next cycle that we're coming into. Sadly, the effects of this wonderful Grand Trine that have been in place since with Neptune, Saturn and Jupiter is waning. We had the wonderful Star of David last month, so lots of wonderful aspects. And in July we did see some highs, all-time highs, in many stock markets around the world. But these aspects are now changing. We're coming into more oppositions during this next 8-month period, between now and next spring. What we're coming into, just started in fact the 7th of August until the 21st, is this powerful opposition between Pluto, Jupiter and Uranus, of course, shaking things up, making this T-square here. So things are going to get shaken up much more, and patterns are very much more erratic. And the other thing that's joining all of this is that Libra now comes into it, making up this grand cross. How does that happen? Well, over these next 8 months, we're going to have the Sun going into Libra. Happy birthday to the Librans coming up soon. We've got Venus being in Libra. Mars will go into Libra. Mercury into Libra. We've got a ton of Libra energy happening over this next 8 months, which is activating these three here. Pluto, I'm going to take these away. Sadly, this is now waning, so I won't confuse the issue. And I want to show you clearly that this grand cross, the cross here, is building up and will be building up more over these next 8 months. We're in a Pluto-Jupiter opposition. They're opposite each other, so they're pulling each other in different directions now. This happens every 13 to 14 years. And now we're at the brink. I feel as though we're coming into the peak of a cycle. This next 8 months were the peak of this cycle, because it all started with Pluto and Jupiter being conjunct. They were conjunct in December of 2007. And this was the point, actually started in September 2007, where we saw the terrible crashes that happened, the crash of the subprime mortgage market, the terrible sudden economic collapse, the recession, interest rates going to almost zero, the banks saving themselves, but savers, people who save money, pensioners relying on interest from their income, were annihilated by this, which started in 2007. Now we're coming into, and this was the conjunction, Jupiter conjunct Pluto at that time. This was when the planets were coming together, and this was what was triggered. Serious time. Now they're coming into an opposition, and I think too we're coming into the peak of this particular cycle. It's a cycle that eventually will come back in another 7 years or so. We'll come back to another opposition. But now it's what started at that conjunction is now coming into opposition here and being triggered even more into this grand square. So I think we're in for some very erratic times. Uranus is, of course, in Aries, is a wild card. And what I'm going to say to you is that yes, gold has dropped. I've been predicting all along that it will go up, but nothing goes up in a straight line. And with these aspects that I'm seeing, I'm even more convinced that precious metals are going to go up considerably. And right now, looking at gold at around $1,300 US an ounce, you're going to look back on this and say, that was very cheap. Why didn't I get a little bit? If you can't get gold, get a little bit of silver. So there you have it. Big changes ahead. Jupiter and Pluto particularly strong in opposition for this next couple of weeks. So I think over this next couple of weeks, we may well get a clue as to how the next 8 months are going to evolve, because Jupiter may give us some clues. I'll be back with another update, and I hope that was informative for you. Please like, share, comment. Always interested in your comments, and always love hearing from you. Thank you for listening.